Welcome along to Premier League Tonight. Thanks for being with us for the best football debate show on TV. For the next hour, we are going to sit here and talk about the Premier League, and we'd love you to get involved in the programme as well. Just use the hashtag PL Tonight, get involved on social media. Alongside me, three men who have 301 England caps between them. Each of them captain their country, and of course, they all know what it feels like to lift the Champions League. And later on, we're going to talk about captaining your club, the best captains that you played under. Get in touch if you want to share your thoughts on who's been the best captain for your club. Have we just seen Man City's best performance under Pep Guardiola?
Of what I've seen, yes, I believe so. And you put into the mix that it's against Chelsea away from home. You can beat teams 5-0 at home, maybe at the bottom of the league, but to come here and put on such an impressive display on the ball was as good as I've seen. Yeah.
OK, we've spoken plenty about City and about Chelsea as well, but this is the kind of thing we're going to be talking about now, and it has been another brilliant day for Harry Kane. He has loved September, having not really liked August too much. Another couple of goals for him. We'll talk later. Is there a better in-form striker in the world at the moment? Share your thoughts on that. And what about this man? Marouane Fellaini was the most tweeted about player in the Premier League today. We will discuss his resurgence under Jose Mourinho. Manchester United winning again, and hi-ho Silva 2 down to draw 2-2. Watford under that man are rejuvenated, sitting 5th in the Premier League at the moment. Incredible, above Liverpool and above Arsenal. But right now, let's hear from Adam McCullough from the Full-Time Devils, a huge Manchester United fan. He'll get the show going. Adam, the floor is yours.
Yes, so we're outside Old Trafford after another 4-0 win for Manchester United. Absolutely delighted with that. Marouane Fellaini with a man-of-the-match performance. Where did those goals come from? First brace in a while for him as well. Romelu Lukaku notched another goal, and it was comfortable for Manchester United today.
They're looking good indeed. What's the deal with Marouane Fellaini? People still seem to struggle to accept him as a Manchester United player. When he has a great game, there's hundreds of tweets about everyone being surprised. When he doesn't have a good game, you know about it on social media.
But with all due respect to Marouane Fellaini, in terms of the way he plays, he's not got that free-flowing style where you associate with a lot of Man United attacking players in the past gone by. So people probably compare him to that. But what he is he's effective. When you get him the ball into the opposition's box, he's aggressive, his elbows are out, he hurts you, and he puts the ball in the back of the net. He does all the nasty things very well. And he's someone who teammates appreciate sometimes more than football fans.
What's he like to play against?
He's horrible.
Is he?
He's an handful. Even when he was at Everton, he played a little bit further forward. He used to back in and he'd get flick-ons, he'd hold the ball up. I think the key here is the manager loves him. He's always going on record praising him, and I think he's been quite clever keeping him as a plan B, because sometimes you can try all the class and all the nice bits, but sometimes you need to go ugly, you need to go direct, you need to have a plan B, and he's certainly United's plan B, and he's very effective.
How did you find him?
Yeah, a handful, strong. Yeah. He's one of those. I think he's improved. I think he's improved as a player. I think at Everton, I've had that role where he kind of stood on the edge of the box and sort of chested it off to everyone, and then got in the box. Now I think he's got an all-round game, and I think Mourinho's definitely made him feel like he's a big part of the team.
And what that is down to is hard work. Yeah. He joined the club when I was still there for a year. I played with him, and what he did do, no matter if it was going good or it was going bad, he was in the gym, he was outside extra after training, putting in them extra hours, and he's getting his rewards now.
And you've all said elbows out, he's a handful, he's a pest, he's a good plan B. Is he now better than that? Or is that still what he is for Manchester United?
I think he's in good form. His confidence is up. He's playing for a manager that believes in him. And I think now in this Manchester United team, there's better players around them. Mourinho's brought in big physical players, and he suits that style. Not just him, Lukaku, Matic, on set pieces, United are a force now as well.
Well, let's hear actually from Jose Mourinho, who spoke about Marouane after the game.
He played with me as a defence midfield player. He played with me as a second striker. He played with me like today in one of the double midfield players, adapted to the needs of the team. He's a team player. He's a great character. We have a good relation, and things are going really well between us.
Well, keep your thoughts coming in. Loads of people sharing their opinion of Marouane Fellaini on social media. Use the hashtag PL Tonight. I've already said he was the most mentioned player on Twitter across the whole day. Liam Canning says, this shows great mental resilience from Fellaini to bounce back after being booed at Old Trafford. Good on him. He deserves his success. Malashians says Mourinho has transformed young Fellaini, Rojo and Jones, and is getting some of the best form of their careers out of them. Give us an insight into what Jose is like as a man who manages players. We saw last season when Mkhitaryan was nowhere near the team. We've seen it with Lindelof at times this season, Luke Shaw as well. He can look very hard on players from the outside. but then equally can do what he's doing with Fellaini, Rojo and Jones and Paul.
I think what he does, if he sees something in you, if he sees a reaction, I think the way he spoke about Fellaini there, you know that he's seen something that he likes in him, whether it's personality, strength, quality on the ball, and I think he then buys into you. Yeah. If he doesn't, I think he doesn't buy into you, he can put you to the side, and we've seen him do that at times, but I think he has a way, and I don't think it's so much even about actual tactics and what you do on the pitch, it's more that he trusts you and he sort of brings out that bit of personality in you.
And he trusted you, he had you at the centre of so much here. Were you, at that time, a complete Mourinho disciple?
Yeah.
You loved everything he did.
That's why he was so good. We were so good when he first came, because we were in that good age, 24, 25-ish, hadn't won anything, and all of a sudden Mourinho come in and like, we're going to be winners now, we're going to do this, and we were all like, yes, boss, do you know what I mean? And followed him.
Do you know, like the players, like he was a little bit hard on Shaw at times, and there's been other players where does he try and provoke them, and then to see whether he gets a reaction to get them back on side, the ones that are maybe not doing it as much as he'd like to.
Yeah, I think he does, and I think he is so thick-skinned and so one-track minded to win. He doesn't accept if he sees like not that in somebody. Do you know what I mean?
Mkhitaryan, for example, as well. Yeah. He was quite harsh on him.
It looks like he's testing him mentally. Like you hit him with something. You're going to stay down or you're going to get up and fight? Yeah. And if you get up, then he says, yes, right, that's the type of man I want in my team. And I think as players, that's what you want in your team. You don't want players who are going to get one hit and shy away from things. One bad pass in the game, shy away from taking the ball again for the next 10, 15 minutes, because that's not how you win titles. You need players that are going to be brave, receiving the ball, not just physically and tackling, but mentally receiving the ball and saying, listen, whatever happens here going forward, I will be with you guys shoulder to shoulder. And
can he put his arm around a player if he senses that that's what a player needs or not?
Yeah, he can. Right. Yeah, he can, and he's done it. He did it at Chelsea, and he can do both. Remember, Joe Cole was here. It was a great example, because with Joe, he was really strong. I remember him subbing, I think, Joe and Wright Phillips about 25 minutes into a game, and it was harsh. You know what I mean? As the numbers come up, you're like, something's up here. But at other times, he would, put his arm around Joe, speak well about him in the press or something like that, and give him a boost. So he can do both sides of it.
What was he like with you?
He was great. He was great. He
Daddy Jose, wasn't it? Daddy,
yeah.
Sunday roast together.
I love you, Jose. But the first time round, he was brilliant. I'm not saying he wasn't so much a second. I was in a stage in my career where I was slightly of a squad player by then. But the first time round, he gave me such an, I've cooked him lovely roast dinners and everything.
What happened to training every day?
Every day. What do you want, boss?
Yeah. Is he a sort of manager that you can predict, or is he your best mate on a Monday, blank show on a Tuesday? You don't quite know where you stand with him, and that's not necessarily a bad thing from his perspective.
Yeah, I couldn't predict, to be fair, every day.
That's hard, isn't it?
Yeah, but that keeps you on your toes as well, in a good way. I could predict his mood after a loss for about 2 or 3 days. After that, I'm not so sure.
What sort of managers did you prefer to play under? A manager who was just stable and solid and you knew where you were, or someone that kept you on your toes, just kept you in the dark a little bit?
I like to know exactly where I stand. You like me or you don't. Yeah. I played well or I didn't. No shady grey areas. That's how, when you're in a grey area and you're not sure, I think that leads to doubt when you go out into the football pitch. Once you know he's backing you, you can go out there and perform. And if you don't, you don't think he's backing you, you've got something to prove to someone. So I think the top managers generally, they let you know where you stand, and they get the best out of players in that way.
I don't know, it's a difficult one for me, because obviously feeling comfortable with a manager, a bit of complacency can come in from time to time. Under Rafa, he used to provoke me all the time, and I felt like I played my best football under him, like searching for a bit of praise, and not knowing where you're at with him brings the best out of you as well. So there's two sides.
What are you like now with the guys that you manage? Do you have to be a little bit more careful with them being a bit younger or not?
They're all different, really. What I've learned is they're all different personalities and characters. Some you can be quite strong on, some you'd have to maybe speak one-to-one or a quiet word. You'd have to manage them all different. Do
you enjoy that part of the game?
Yeah, it's fascinating, yeah.
He says with a smile on his face. I bet it is. OK, well, look, we've spoken about a team who are just flying at the moment in the Premier League, but what about a team who simply aren't? So let's talk about Crystal Palace. It's been a very hard day for them. Here's the story of their day through the eyes of a fan.
They say the definition of madness is doing the same thing over again and expecting a different result. Yet here I am on the train to Manchester for the second week running to watch Palace play. This time we go without Ruben Loftus-Cheek and Christian Benteke. Freddie Ladapo, anyone? No, I didn't think so. 4-0 United. Make sure you got Lukaku as your captain on fantasy football.
2-0 here at half-time. 2 moments quality from United undone Palace, who haven't been terrible actually.
rare sighting of a Crystal Palace shot on target. 4-0 to Man United, in case you was wondering. As I said it would be when I sent in the video earlier on, so don't tell me I don't know my Crystal Palace.
I fear that we just have to accept that we are the boxer who's fighting in a weight class that he's not able to perhaps handle at this moment in time when you play Man City and Man United, and you're going to take the blows to the chin and get knocked down. But I don't think we stayed on the canvas. I thought we tried to get ourselves up off there as best we could.
Well, it's fair to say those comments about boxing and Palace haven't gone down very well with the fans. Robert says, we haven't got a weight class. We've got no fight, no guts. Just 10 people stood in the same shirt and someone picking the ball out of the net. Mark Drew, don't worry, we've already thrown the towel in. And Ashley Hammond, this whole division is out of our weight class. I mean, this is an incredible, difficult thing for Roy to have to go and deal with. This is not his doing, the position that Crystal Palace find themselves in. But he is now a manager in the Premier League. And he's ended up at a football club, bottom of the league, who haven't yet managed to score a goal. They have one striker, one fit striker on their books, Freddie Lapardo, who's an ex-Margate striker, and they're scrapping around for freebies. What a disastrous situation to go into as a manager. I don't know where you begin. What does he do?
I don't know. It's a tough one. I mean, you've got to look at the players, because I think they've got
those players, have you?
Well, I think they've got some good players, but the players have been underperforming. I think the club. It's a strange, because they were a lot of people's fancy this year to be like outsiders to move up the table. Maybe it was a De Boer effect, thinking that he's going to come and play this beautiful football. But I find it's really difficult for Roy. I felt a bit sorry for him there, because especially the run of games that he's walked straight into. I don't think you can give away now. How many? Is that 6 or 7 they've lost on the bounce? 7 on the bounce. Not scoring a goal. Minus 19 or something is the goal difference. You give away 7 games and expect to get out of relegation.
You think already Palace are done?
Well, I can't see a 7-game start. They're not that good to recover on a 7-game start. You know, who knows? But looking at it now, I can't see it.
I think he needs a transfer window, and he needs some good players in there. I think he's inherited a mess. They've tried to bring the board in the summer and try and change the philosophy and the style, but they haven't got the players to do that. They're not good enough to play a Dutch style. And the board and the chairman have got it wrong in that appointment, and now Roy's got to try and pick them pieces up, and that's not going to happen overnight. He's going to need time to try and stiffen them up, get them organised, stop them conceding goals. But to get a bit of quality to add to what they've got, they need transfer windows, so you can't judge Roy Hodgson now.
Which they're not going to get until they've played a few more games, and their next game is Chelsea. As we just saw there, they've lost 7 on the spin. If we're totally honest, the chances are it's going to be 8, because they're not going to be in that form and then go and beat Chelsea. It's very unlikely. It's just an impossible situation to get out of. Do you agree with Frank that it's almost too much already?
I think so, yeah. I think with the squad of players that they've got, I don't think they've got enough in there. Definitely haven't got enough goals. As we've seen, they've not scored a Premier League goal all season. A big miss has been for them, Wilfried Zaha. He gives them that little bit of unpredictability. That's someone who can take them from one end of the pitch to the other, bring 2 or 3 players to him, and gives other people space. At the moment, they're lacking pace, any real direction in this team. And to come and sit and try and take up pressure, you need some confidence in the attacking players to go and nick you a goal here and there, and they have 0 confidence at the minute.
And you have to feel for Palace fans as well. It looked like there was a direction, and then they had the Alan Pardew didn't work out. Sam Allardyce at the very sort of last minute decided it wasn't for him. And now, how can you be in this position and not have the first choice striker on the books at your football club?
I think that's what happens when you chop and change managers. When you chop and change managers so frequently, them names you've just mentioned there, and they've gone from Alan Pardew, who tries to get a balance of attacking and defensive football, to Sam Allardyce, and then to the Ajax Academy, the Ajax way of playing football. That doesn't even ring right when you say it, let alone try and put it into practice.
Do you think they sacked him too early, or do you think they should have tried to let him go and force that style of play? It's a tough one.
If you give someone money to go and spend, and you invest in him initially, I think you've got to give him time. That's what I believe. I think if you chopping and changing and expecting Roy Hodgson to come in and change what he's put into place from pre-season, that's a hard ask in itself. At least give the man you give the keys to at the beginning a chance, a fair crack at the whip.
Sure. OK.